RTO here. Welcome to a very, very special RTO retro ranking. Today we are going to do a little special on Marc Bolan. Marc Bolan from T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And this is in memory of Marc, who sadly died on the 16th of September in 1977, aged 29, in a terrible car accident. I remember it happening because it's only a month after Elvis. So two great rock and rolls was gone. I mean, Marc, of course, started off glam rock, all because of them little glittery tears under his eye at Top of the Pops for Hot Love. But today we're not going to talk about his singles. I'm doing this top 10 on the deep cut tracks and tracks off the albums, because he made some great tracks. So this top 10, if you only know his singles, this will be totally different for you. But if you haven't heard this stuff, go and check it out because it's really good. I'll put in all these tracks in the playlist today, even my honourable mentions. So start off with them and then move on from there. So let's have a look at my favourite songs by Marc Bolan. So coming in at number 10, we go to the 1975 album Bolan Zip Gun and a track called Token of My Love. Now this album's a bit different. It changed its sort of style, but this is one of the best tracks on the album. It's got that bluesy feel to it. I love the piano. It's a little bit different and it's a really strong track. It's probably one of the best tracks on this album. Okay, then coming in at number 9, we go back now to 1970 when it was still Tyrannosaurus Rex, and we go into the Beard of Stars album and the title track A Beard of Stars. I think this is one of the best tracks from the Tyrannosaurus Rex days. I like the guitar solo on it. Now Marc wasn't the best, he never admitted to being the great rock and roll guitar player, but he could play a good guitar, and I think it's a great solo on this, and it's a great vocal for Marc on this. It is one of my favourite tracks from Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now coming at number 8, and Richard McCook said he was looking forward to this show, and Richard, yes, your track that you mentioned is in here, from 1973, from Tanks and Rapids. I love this track. It's that typical glam rock start, great riffs, that great glam rock drum, memorable track off the album. Very simple riffs but memorable track. I love this track. Absolute belter of a track. Okay, then coming in at number 7, we're staying with Tanks from 1973, and it's Mad Donna. I love the start of this. I've tried to find out who the little girl is, and there's not much on the internet. So if you know who the little girl is interacting with Marc, please let me know. It's just another great little track from Marc, one of the deep cuts. Some great little riffs on this, great vocal from Marc as ever. Catchy tune, brilliant stuff. Okay, then coming in at number 6, we're going to go to 1971 now, and the Electric Warrior album, and it's the Mambo Sun. That steady drum beat from Bill, legend. Great drummer. It's a solid track. Some great guitar work. Catchy tune. Again, a lot of these tracks are very catchy. It's an excellent track. Coming in at number 5 then, we go to 1972, the album The Slider and the title track, The Slider. Like this track. Got a great bass line here from Steve Curry. Some great drums from Bill again, and driving riffs. It's one of the heaviest tracks I think that T-Rex done. Really strong riffs. Can't get enough of this track. One of my favourite tracks. Coming in at number 4, we get to 1976 now, and Futuristic Dragon, and it's a theme for a dragon. I love that opening. Them strings really work well. Gives this track a little bit extra depth with them great backing vocals and the vocal on here. It's an excellent track. Can't get enough of that one. It's one of my favourite tracks off that album. Okay then, coming at number 3, we go back to Electric Warrior now, and The Motivator. Very, very similar to Get It On, but who cares? It's a great track. I love the bongos on this. Mikey Finn doing all the bongos on this. It's a really good guitar solo for Mark on this. Probably one of his best. Terrific track. Okay then, coming in at number 2, we get to 1971, and the B-side to the single Get It On. Now this is sort of split up into 3 tracks. The first one being There Was a Time. Love the strings on this, very gentle and acoustic. But then we get the bit that I really love, and again, Richard McCook, you couldn't do a deep cut without this track. It's Raw Ramp. I didn't hear this because I haven't got the single Get It On, and it was my friend Lee that told me. He says, when I told him about I was thinking of doing something this year to celebrate Mark's anniversary, and he says, you got to listen to Raw Ramp. I said, I can't remember if I've heard that. And when I put it on, and I thought, yes, I have heard it, but I hadn't heard it for a long time. And I love this track. The bongos, the bongos and the drums from Bill Legend and Mickey Finn are brilliant, and it's a great vocal for Mark. Superb track. And how it didn't end up on our album, I don't know, but it is a brilliant, brilliant track. And then the last bit of this is Electric Boogie, and it continues on from Raw Ramp, but we got some fuzzbox guitar on this, just amazing. All these 3 tracks roll into one is a brilliant track. I love this track. So my number 1, and it's probably one of my favourite tracks ever, even above the singles. Go to 1972, The Slider, and Baby Boomerang. Oh, I just love this. Always love this track. It's rock and roll, glammed up, it's glam rock and roll. You got that fuzzbox that fuzzbox at the effect on the beginning. You got a fantastic vocal from Mark, a boomy bass line from Steve Curry. Just everything about this track is T-Rex. Absolute belter of a track. It is my favourite track by T-Rex. Always will be. So that's my top 10. So I've got some honourable mentions, and they are going in the playlist today, because you can't leave these tracks off. So my first one, we go back to the Tanks album from 1973 now, and Highway Knees. Again, that great combination of bongos and drums. And there's a bit of a string sound and a little bit glammy. Fantastic. Great little track. Our next one comes off an album that we haven't mentioned yet, and it was sadly the last album from Mark and T-Rex, Dandy in the Underworld from 1977, and it's the track Groovy Little. This is the great comeback album where Mark got back on form to playing the glam rock sound that we all love. It's just got the electric piano on this is great. Some more great guitar work from Mark. Sadly he's last, and I hope if he'd have lived, I think we'd have seen some really good albums from him. And my last one today, we go to 1976 Futuristic Dragon again, and it's called Calling All Destroyers. There's got a bit of disco in this and bongos, but I do like this track. It was a little bit different, and it's got a great guitar solo on it. That's probably why I really like it. I love the guitar solo on this track. So there we have it, some of my favourite deep cut tracks. I'd like to hear what your deep cut tracks are from you big fans. Because we all like the singles, but a lot of people that are really into someone, you like to go and listen to the stuff off the albums. Part of my growing up, T-Rex. You just can't get enough of it. Okay, that's all for today. But tomorrow is Marathon Wednesday, and we are now up to part 3 of the Vangelis story. And tomorrow we're going to look at all the soundtracks that he wrote and composed. So that's going to be an interesting one. Whatever you're doing today, have a great day. It's quite sunny here in Northampton today, so we're going to have a nice little walk, me and the Dachshund. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye for now.